Well, during this meeting of the Pension Board, we discussed potential ordinance amendments to go on the ballot in November, which would, some of it's just housekeeping, just to clarify stuff that might be confusing or that needs to be updated. And the others are to look at the potential for reducing risk to the plan, future market risks, by offering a lump sum payments when somebody retires. The other is addressing whether children can be beneficiaries of the system. So those are the two main ones, kind of the more substantive issues that we're discussing.
I became vested. I left my husband as my beneficiary. And then, of course, when you go on the draw, you have that opportunity to pick another beneficiary. My son is, as I said, 26. My inheritance from my parents 8 years ago was my mentally retarded brother. If I cry, I'm sorry. Was my mentally retarded brother. Had my son not given up his life and his opportunity to earn a job and everything, I would have had to quit 8 years ago. But he has given up his life, his earning ability to take care of my son and also take care of me. My husband travels a lot. I can't drive anymore due to health issues. So when my husband's gone, my son is there. We are his parents, but we're also his employers, basically, because he takes care of us. He does everything. So why would I not seeing that option? No, I don't want to break the city. That was not my intent when I chose my son. I chose my son as the day he became my son. What parent does not want to take care of their children when they're here and when they're not here? That's why I chose my son.
Your story about your brother and your son, that is why we sit here and we vote the way we vote as your representative. But that's not where the interest is when it comes out in the paper. And that's why I think we have to be so careful about how this is drafted and crafted for the purposes of the ballot. Because all people are going to remember when they go to the polls is the dollar figures you see in that chart. There's where your decisions will be made, with zero concession as to why those decisions were made. I know, and you know, that there are people who made those decisions to manipulate the plan.
If I give you $5 million and I say your death benefit's $5 million, is that a lavish death benefit? Well, what if it's payable in 40 years? Well, the present value is $300,000, which is still not nothing, right? But it's not $5 million today. And, you know, as far as I'm concerned, take that option out, don't take it out. I think philosophically there's some reasonable, reasons to do that have been mentioned. But the fact that I've, seen some people take this option and the implication that somehow a lavish benefit that's going to bankrupt the plan is simply just not true. I mean, actuarially, it just doesn't take into account the timing of the payments. It makes a nice headline.
Actuarially, 10 years ago, we weren't going to be facing the huge unfunded liability that we have now. So I don't see how you can say that, Alan. Actuarially, everything's hunky-dory. But the reality is the market doesn't always do.
You have investment risk, absolutely.
Right. And so this is about reducing the investment risk. Okay, this is about not saying ideally that all of this can happen, that all of this will play out. It's about the reality, which we're facing right now, where it doesn't always, play out.
I'm not taking sides.
So we will meet again in June and most likely make our final recommendations to City Council. City Council has to vote on it in order to then put these on the ballot. But this is a way to, the overall goal of all of this is to make sure that the pension system remains solvent, that it's something that is reduces risk to the taxpayer, but still provides the protections, the secure retirement that pension plans are for.